Hello, and welcome to our School at Home class in English Grade 7. We are in the fourth quarter of our set of lessons, and I hope that you will be delighted in learning today with lesson number 3. In this episode of our video lessons, you are expected to differentiate listening from hearing and vice versa, determine the worth of ideas mentioned in the text listened to, and enhance one's listening skill. Choose the letter of the best answer. You may answer this on a separate sheet of paper. You may pause this video every time you need more time to answer and play it again when you're done. Number 1. It requires thoughtful analysis to fully understand message and sound received. A. Hearing. B. Listening. C. Note-taking. D. Listening for information. Number 2. This refers to a basic process of receiving sound and message that is effortless, involuntary, and accidental. A. Listening. B. Note-taking. C. Hearing. D. Feedback. Number 3. Listen to the audio recording and answer the question. The progress of a country greatly relies on its capability to nurture and provide for its constituents, to eradicate poverty, and to promote development. To be specific, good governance has something to do with these factors. But what is good governance all about? Good governance refers to the processes and institutions that aim to come up with beneficial results that would make a society better. There are dimensions that must be followed to ensure good governance. These are rule of law, transparency, accountability, and efficiency. Let us have first the rule of law. When we say rule of law, this refers to the fundamental principles of liberalism and democracy. This makes sure that both the government and its constituents act in accordance with the law. Different forms of government like monarchy, democracy, oligarchy, totalitarianism, and others enact different kinds of law. If the listeners of this audio recording are teenagers like you, do you think all of the information presented in it are relevant to them? A. Yes. Those information are relevant to them because sooner or later they will run for a public office and serve the nation. B. No, those information are not relevant to them because the content of the audio recording is too technical for them to understand. C. Yes, those information are relevant to them because the information presented are factual and based on research. D. No, those information have no use to them. Number 4. Listen to the audio recording and answer the question. The Church of England's Children's Society recently redefined what it means by the word family. The word family came into English in the 15th century. Its root lies in the Latin word famulus, servant. The first meaning in English was close to our modern word, household. A group of individuals living under one roof that included blood relations and servants. A family influences values and expectations of children that they observe from their parents and internalize these values and expectations. Parents may teach values and expectations to their children directly by teaching them and indirectly by example. As many children spend much of their time with their families, families are often a primary source in the formation of values and expectations that greatly affect their development. Child development happens physically, emotionally, socially, and intellectually during early stage of a child's life. To make an analogy, if you were constructing a large building, you have to make sure that it has a solid foundation so that the rest of the building can stand tall and strong for many years to come. What information from the audio recording is relevant to you as member of the family? A. The Church of the England's Children's Society recently redefined what it means by the word family. B. A family influences the values and expectations of children which affect their development. C. To make an analogy, if you were constructing a building, you have to make sure that it has a solid foundation. D. The first meaning in English was close to our modern word, household. Number 5. Listen to the audio recording and answer the question. Savor's Choice Spread, the number one choice of foodies like you. It's yummy, healthy, and budget-friendly. It comes with different flavors that you can choose from. Ham and cheese spread, tuna spread, bacon spread, and veggie spread. So what are you waiting for? Buy now and avail the 50% off if you buy 3 bottles of Savor's Choice Spread from your chosen supermarket. Spread the love, spread the goodness. Savor's Choice Spread. What is the audio recording all about? Choose the best answer. A. The audio recording is giving information about the product. B. The audio recording is entertaining the listeners. C. The audio recording is informing about the discount to those who will avail the product. D. The audio recording is an advertisement which convinces people to avail the product. Here are the answers. Today, let us talk about listening, specifically listening to evaluate the relevance of ideas presented in the text listened to. First, let's differentiate listening from hearing and vice versa. What do you think is the difference between them? Do you have any idea? Yes, you're right! Listening is an active process. It requires thoughtful attention to fully understand sound and message you receive. When you listen, it also involves mental or cognitive process for you to be able to give meaning to the sound and message received. On the other hand, hearing is simply a basic process of receiving message and sound. Consider this figure. In this figure, hearing is shown as a psychological process. It means that when you hear a sound, it is automatic, accidental, and requires no effort, while listening is purposeful, focused, rather than accidental. Identify if the picture shows or applies the concept of listening or not. Do the thumbs up if it is listening, and do the thumbs down if not. Correct! This is a thumbs up. The picture shows the application of listening because the boy expressively listens to the music, to its lyrics, and harmony. If you do the thumbs up, then you're great! This picture shows the concept of listening because the lady pays attention to the message she receives through telephone call. This enables her to understand the message given to her. If you do the thumbs up, then you're right again. This picture shows the concept of listening because the child pays attention to what his mother is saying to him. Other than this, let us find out how to evaluate the worth of ideas presented in the text listened to. Listen to the audio recordings. Discern which between them presents ideas that are worthy to you as a student. As you go through, try to take down note of ideas that you consider worthy because it can aid your memory about what you have listened to. Reviewing your notes helps you remember what was said, builds up your understanding, and helps you identify the gaps in your knowledge. And most importantly, note-taking helps you gather ideas in the text listened to. According to Collins Dictionary, politics refers to all activities concerned with achieving and using power in a country and society. Also, politics has something to do with how a group of people make decision and agreement so that they can live together to form a government. It may also refer to the exercise of power, democracy, freedom, and justice. Aristotle once said, "Politics is a practical science, for it can make citizens happy." The role of politicians is to make laws or constitutions. Political science is the study of politics. It has three branches, namely political theory, political administration, and public law. As individuals, we have to be concerned about politics because it can educate us about the crucial parts of the society, and it can give us confidence that we can do something to change the world. We always hear the adage, "Education is the key to success," in all speeches. But what is education? Do we really understand what education is? According to Britannica, education refers to the process of teaching and learning and the act of imparting knowledge, values, and beliefs. Education is important not only because it can lead us to success, but also it can change us to become a better being. Education has the power to change our perspective about life. The more knowledge an individual gains, the more opportunities will unfold and will lead him to better potentials that can help to his academic and personal growth. As a student, education is your powerful asset to unleash your full potentials as a holistic being because it propels you to take the right path and decision in life. Since you are able to listen to both audio recordings, let us see what you have on your notes. Do you have there the meaning of education and its importance? If you have, then more likely you found the second audio recording worthy to you. The second audio recording presents ideas which are likely relevant to you as a student because it explains why education must be given importance by a student like you. It presents you the perks of giving value to education. While the first audio recording presents ideas which are not that really relevant to you as a young student. Perhaps the ideas presented in it are too broad for you to understand and to relate to. People that can find the ideas presented in the first audio recording worthy are those who have a deep and vast knowledge about politics. It may be people who are engaged in it, like those who study politics or political science and lawyers. It can also be adult individuals who are interested to politics. On the other hand, you can still find the value of text to yourself if your reasons for listening are to seek and acquire knowledge, to benefit from it, and to use them in the future for your well-being. Also, grasping the ideas and locating the facts you found on what you have listened to is really an amazing skill, but finding the worth of what you listen to is beyond understanding and comprehension. Always remember that the worth of ideas presented in the text listened to vary among individuals. It may also depend on their reasons, interests, and needs that they find the ideas worthy or relevant to be listened to. And as individuals, we have different reasons, interests, and needs. Listen to the following audio recordings and evaluate the relevance of the ideas presented in them. Identify which ideas are worthy. Choose the letter of your answer. Number 1. Listen to the audio recording and answer the question. Having a family is one of the most important parts of an individual's life. In this view, what exactly does a family mean? The word family came from a Latin word, familia, which means household. Another meaning of the word family is according to an article published in Britannica. It says that a family must have rooted principally in the economic and property questions created by the transfer of a female from her father's family to the power and guardianship of her husband. But ideally speaking, a family is composed of people who support us no matter what. They may be connected to us by blood or not. What important is, they are the people who are ready to love us unconditionally with our shortcomings. A family is caring and affectionate to one another even if it is difficult to do so. They serve as the bedrock that one can lean on in times of troubles. It is one's heart where a family is. It is not also always biological, but it is something that hones us to be the person to be. A family isn't just important, it is what is valuable. As a student and a member of a family, what idea in the audio recording is worthy for you? A. The word family came from the Latin word familia, which means household. B. Family is composed of people who support us no matter what. C. Family rooted principally in the economic and property questions created by the transfer of a female from her father to her husband. D. In this view, what exactly does a family mean? You are correct! The answer here is letter B. This is because the message in this option is relatable to most of us. Also, we have this common idea that a family is composed of supportive and loving people. However, the other options are still worthy if your reason for listening is to seek information and knowledge about family. If you are a student whose concern is the etymology of the word family, which line is worthy to that concern? A. In this view, what exactly does a family mean? B. Family is rooted principally in the economic and property questions created by the transfer of a female from her father to her husband. C. The word family came from the Latin word familia, which means household. D. But ideally speaking, a family is composed of people who support us no matter what. Great! The correct answer here is letter C. This is because this option explains the origin of the word family and its meaning. Number 2. Listen to the audio recording and answer the question. Learning comes in many forms. Sometimes children learn by being told something directly. However, the most common way children learn is by observation of everyday life. A child's learning and socialization are most influenced by their family since the family is the child's primary social group. Child development happens physically, emotionally, socially, and intellectually during this time. To make an analogy, if you were constructing a large building, you have to make sure that it has a solid foundation so that the rest of the building can stand tall and strong for many years to come. If the foundation is not strong, the building will have trouble standing on its own. Just like people, if our foundations are not solid, we find it more difficult to be successful in our relationships with others, work, health, and ourselves. So, it cannot be stressed enough how important the family is in the development of a child. If a group of teenagers is listening to this audio recording, what idea in it is worthy for them? A. Child development happens physically, emotionally, socially, and intellectually during this time. B. The most common way children learn is by observing everyday life. C. To make an analogy, if you were constructing a large building, you have to make sure that it has a solid foundation so that the rest of the building can stand tall and strong for many years to come. D. Family is the primary social group of a child. Determine if the situation in the picture shows the application of listening and/or hearing. You may answer this on a separate sheet of paper. Write L for listening and H for hearing. A family is the most precious gift that God has given us, no matter how big or small it is. It is considered as the smallest unit, yet the most important part of a society. Our family is important because it hones our intellect and rationality that help us realize our goals, beliefs, and values in life. According to Heather Weiss, founder and director of the Harvard Family Research Project, a parent's attitude and values can be passed on to the child during early childhood stage. During this stage of development, a child's self-concept is forming and can be heavily influenced by their parents. In addition to this, our family is our first school where we grow, develop, and learn as holistic individuals. Before we are enrolled in a formal school, our fathers and mothers, grandparents, and other members of the family act as our first teachers. Parents serve as role models not only through direct interactions with their children, but through the examples they set with their attitude and behavior within the family and in the outside world, says Bloom's 2018. And as our first school, one value we learn from our family is unity. Unity means being together even if there is diversity. It can be described as the quality of oneness or relatedness. A strong family ties or unity is one of the most known values of a Filipino family. Filipinos are known to place high regards and importance to their family above anything or anyone else. Unity in family promotes a loving, joyful, and understanding family environment that gives us a sense of peace and security as individuals. Moreover, unity in family serves as our bedrock or strength in times of difficulties. Our family gives us the power, courage, and confidence to face the hurdles that we need to deal with. They are the ones who comfort us in times of pain and loneliness. Furthermore, unity in family nurtures us to be a better social being. As our first school, our family serves as our framework of values where we learn respect, empathy, and resilience that are important for us to socialize better in the society. Lastly, unity in family encourages us to be victorious. They are the people whom we share our dreams, aspirations, and successes. They serve as our strong support system as we face our battles and reach our goals in life. Our family becomes our inspiration to strive harder and better in life. In conclusion, a family is a vital part of one's life. It is a pillar where we are cultivated as a total person. Through our family, we can acquire skills and values that are basic foundation for learning. Therefore, a strong support system can greatly affect our development, says La Fortune 2017. With all of these things, let us be a catalyst who promotes unity in family. On a piece of paper, write aha if the statement is true and ahoy if not. 1. Listening is a process that requires thoughtful attention to fully understand sound and message you receive. Correct! It's aha! Always remember that listening is a purposeful and intentional process. 2. It is important to know the worth of the text we are listening to because it can help us identify if it is beneficial, important, and educational. Correct! It's aha again. It is important for us to be aware of the material we are listening to know if it is good to us or not. Again, grasping the ideas and locating the facts you found on what you have listened to is really an amazing skill, but finding the worth of what you listen to is beyond understanding and comprehension. 3. Hearing is a process that involves accidental, effortless, and involuntary receiving of message. Precisely, it's aha! Hearing is shown as a psychological process. It means that when you hear a sound, it is automatic, accidental, and requires no effort. 4. People's needs, reasons, and interests vary that affect on their perception of the text listened to. It is aha! Always remember that the worth of ideas presented in the text listened to vary among individuals because of our different needs and interests. Unity in family is very important because it serves as a foundation for a stronger family. Let us find out more ways on how to strengthen unity in one's family. Let us do this activity. Interview a family member about their ideas on how to establish unity in family. After listening to them, trace your hand on a piece of paper and write their responses inside the fingers of your hand. Explain how these ideas are relevant or worthy to your development as a total person and a member of the family. You can also put color to your artwork. Always remember that unity in family can also be established by these 5 C's: commitment, compassion, communication, connection, and compromise. Choose the letter of the best answer. You may answer this on a separate sheet of paper. 1. It is an act of receiving language through the ears and processing them into meaningful message. A. Listening. B. Note-taking. C. Hearing. D. Listening for information. Number 2. It refers to a psychological process which is automatic, accidental, and requires no effort. A. Hearing. B. Listening. C. Feedback. D. Note-taking. 3. The worth of ideas listened to vary among individuals because individuals have different A. Listening. B. Feedback. C. Reaction and reasons. D. Reasons, needs, and interests. 4. Aling Celia is in the mall to buy a pair of shoes for Pedro's graduation when suddenly she heard an advertisement from afar. The advertisement says, An adventure awaits you when you own the latest model of Chevrolet CWL. With its undeniable and sleek style, reliable and fast engine, and affordable price, it is as wild as you want it to be. Hurry! Make it yours now and avail our special promo. What are you waiting for? Let's make another adventure with Chevrolet CWL. Based on the recorded advertisement, do you think Aling Celia will find the ideas presented in it worthy? A. Yes, because it is her interest. B. No, because she goes to the mall not to buy a car, but to purchase a pair of shoes for Pedro's graduation. C. Yes, because it is Aling Celia's dream to buy a new car as a gift for Pedro's graduation. D. No, buying a car is not in the budget of Aling Celia. 5. Listen to the audio recording and identify what idea is worthy to students like you. Education is one of the vital parts of a student's life. Without education, a student can tend to be ignorant. As the adage says, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. But how can students be prepared for education? What do they need to do in order for them to be ready for it? A good study habit is one of the keys that can help students gain confidence in their learning journey. Study habit refers to how one studies. Having a good study habit can increase their competence and self-esteem. It also contributes to the academic performance of students. One way to improve student study habit is the use of Q4 model. The method was introduced by Francis P. Robinson, an American education philosopher, in his 1946 book Effective Study. This involves a systematic method of surveying or skimming, thinking of a question you want to be answered, and then reading, reviewing, and revisiting the text. It is indeed that a good study habit can make your life easier as a student. What idea in the audio recording is most relevant to students like you? A. The method was introduced by Francis P. Robinson, an American education philosopher, in 1946. B. This involves a systematic method of surveying, thinking of questions, reading, reviewing, and revisiting. C. Having a good study habit can increase students' competence, self-esteem, and academic performance. D. Francis P. Robinson is an American education philosopher who wrote the book Effective Study. That's all for today. Goodbye and see you in the next lesson.